Good evening, I'm Adam Cellini. Thanks for joining us. Scott Dennis and Jacqueline Matter have the night off. Well, topping our news tonight, major weather changes coming our way. ABC7's chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now with the latest on potential severe storms heading our way. Bob.
Thanks, Adam. Yes, the potential is there indeed. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center is suggesting that we have a fairly good chance. It's slight right now across west central Florida. That's much more than we had earlier at marginal just yesterday at this time. So that has increased, and that's due to some energy that'll pass through the Gulf of Mexico just in time with the actual cold front. Those two will meet, it looks like, sometime after midnight. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be an early morning event here for the Suncoast. Now, as far as the tornado chances go, they're still fairly low at 5%. There's always that possibility of a waterspout, though, maintaining its organization and becoming a tornado once it makes landfall. So we'll keep an eye on that potential, too. We'll be here through the duration of this severe weather threat with your first alert weather forecast. Now, as far as the wind damage goes, that potential is at 10% for much of west central Florida into central Florida. And right now, you can see this line of storms, well, it was weakening as it made its way toward the Suncoast, so that's good. This line is still very strong, and the front and cold air is still well back to the northwest of it. So we'll see this line move through sometime after midnight, and then the secondary line with the actual cold front move through right around daybreak tomorrow. Now, as far as the planning goes this evening, right now you're in good shape. Things are looking pretty good. Timing as the storms, though, everyone wants to know exactly when we're going to get hit. If we do, and it looks like right now it will be sometime after midnight for west central Florida. And some of those storms could produce some locally heavy rainfall, some lightning, and some very gusty winds, which could cause some damage. But for the time being, maybe one or two lone showers are possible over the next several hours, but no major concerns as far as travel weather goes right now. But a different story for tomorrow, especially for boaters. A small craft advisory is in effect until late tomorrow night. So we're talking seas running up to 5 feet in some areas as a result of the strong northwest winds. We'll have more in the forecast and talk about the cold weather coming in just a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you, Bob. And all that cold weather and other weather changes are affecting air travel. Some flights in and out of the Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport have either been delayed or canceled. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live right now from SRQ Airport with more. Rick?
Yeah, Adam, good evening. A lot of folks here are just playing the waiting game. A handful of flights flying in and out of SRQ have been either delayed or canceled. The biggest effect are on Delta flights heading to and from Atlanta. Bad weather is to blame.
Sure. So around noontime today, we noticed that the flights were starting to be delayed from the hub city of Atlanta, which is where Delta operates. And throughout the day, we've seen more and more flights delayed. We had our first cancellation, the 6 p.m. departure. And so there's a pretty big impact this storm is causing.
And airport officials are encouraging travelers to check with their airline to get the latest information on all this. Reporting live from SRQ this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Adam, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Rick. Well, with the predicted drop in temperatures, shelters will be opening in Sarasota County. Sarasota County emergency management officials are coordinating with the Salvation Army and Grace United Methodist Church to provide cold weather sheltering for those in need. 2 shelters will be open Saturday and Sunday evening. The North County shelter will be at the Salvation Army Center of Hope on 10th Street in Sarasota. The Salvation Army will have its front porch opening at 4 p.m. with intake expected to start around 6:30 p.m. The front porch will reopen at 4:30 a.m. and remain open until 5 a.m. when that Welcome Center opens. The South County shelter will be at Grace United Methodist Church on Field Avenue down in Venice, and that shelter will be opening at 5 p.m. The Florida Highway Patrol is advising drivers be extra cautious around State Road 64 and Interstate 75. Major road construction is being done by the Florida Department of Transportation. They're making the on and off ramp they're turning that on and off ramp into a diamond interchange. It is similar to that diverging diamond at University Parkway, but not exactly the same thing. The work means a new traffic pattern and has been causing some confusion for drivers.
You want to make sure that we are putting those electronic devices down and we are paying attention. We've got both hands on the wheel.
The work on the diamond interchange is expected to be complete by fall of 2019. Well, an overnight burglary turned into heartbreak at the Bradenton Veterinary Hospital last night. The suspect taking a freezer that was being stored outside, but as ABC 7's Bobeth Yates tells us, what was inside that freezer is considered priceless.
This empty spot right behind me is where the freezer once stood, and I'm told a freezer had been in that location for more than 3 years. But now the issue isn't just about the missing freezer, but what was inside.
We were all just stunned. Our cremation company had come to pick up the 2 bodies. They generally come either the same day or the very next day. He came in the office and asked us where our freezer was. And everybody was like, it's right out there where it always is. And he said, no, it's not.
According to the Bradenton Police Department, an unknown suspect entered a secure area of the Bradenton Veterinary Hospital and stole a freezer containing the remains of 2 dogs waiting to be cremated. Here you see an image of the pickup truck as it left the scene, and the surveillance video showing even more details. A woman is seen walking onto the property, and a few minutes later, the truck is seen driving away with the freezer. Vet officials say this burglary has really struck a chord because the animal's owners, who were already struggling with the loss of their best friend, now feel victimized.
You were hoping to have some kind of remembrance of that pet, you know, and that won't happen.
The issue has also baffled the community, as many wonder who would do such a thing.
That's pretty sad for somebody just to break in any place, but to break in the veterinarian's office and steal dead dogs in the freezer, that's really sad.
The suspect is believed to have left the scene of the crime in a dark color Nissan Frontier. Anyone with information about this crime is asked to call the Bradenton Police Department. Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you very much, Bobeth. Well, police are looking for another suspect responsible for multiple break-ins in Northport. The Northport Police Department says the male suspect seen in these photos is responsible for breaking into a shed at one residence and a vehicle and the lanai at another property. Both instances happened on November 19th around at 3:30 in the morning on Spoon Hill Road and at 5 a.m. on Ponce de Leon Boulevard. If you have any information about this case, you are asked to contact the Northport Police Department. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is holding its annual awards banquet today. The Sheriff's Office honoring Deputy of the Year, Employee of the Year, Robert and Dan Moulter Memorial Volunteer of the Year, and the Bells Humanitarian of the Year. Among those honored were undercover officers who worked day and night on a case to prepare warrants, conduct interviews, conduct surveillance, and collect evidence that led to 19 convictions. Sheriff Rick Wells showing his appreciation for each and every officer at that banquet today.
There's never been a more critical time to work in this field we call law enforcement than there is today. Many challenges that we have to face each and every day. Criticism and the negative publicity that we get are unjust, but you fight beyond that and you continue to come out here and to serve your community because that's what's most important.
The banquet was held at the Renaissance on 9th in Bradenton. It was the 23rd year of honoring Manatee County's sheriff's deputies in our community. Today, Governor Rick Scott signed a proclamation authorizing FWC to reduce the cost of lifetime sportsman licenses for Florida children and young adults. The license currently costs up to $1,000, but from now through December 31st, the price will be reduced by 25% for Florida residents who are 17 years old and younger. The lifetime license covers saltwater and freshwater recreational fishing, hunting, and most associated permits. The license lasts for the rest of the license holder's life, even if that person is no longer a resident of the state. Those licenses can be purchased online at GoOutdoorsFlorida.com and at Florida County tax collectors' offices. Your residency must be verified. So hint, hint for some Christmas gifts out there. Well, still to come here on your Suncoast News, employees in the Florida legislature have jobs outside of their taxpayer-paid positions, why some of these jobs are raising concerns, and a new bill that would require workers' comp to cover mental conditions for first responders. More on these stories when we return.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter mile north of University Parkway.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
This holiday season, share the greatest gift of all, peace of mind. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback, for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Too Hot to Handle. Add an electric spark to your holiday season with the return of this joyful gospel reinvention of Handel's Messiah. Shout hallelujah and get ready for a roof-raising performance featuring an ensemble of 100 singers, plus exceptional musicians and outstanding soloists, including Amy Jo Connors and members of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Sunday, December 10th, 7:30 p.m. at the Van Wezel. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org.
ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Dozens of employees in the Florida legislature, including the spokesman for House Speaker Richard Corcoran, have been working at jobs outside their taxpayer-paid positions. While some employees have gone to work as waitresses, tutors, and flight instructors, others have jobs that could raise questions about potential conflicts. Records show in one instance, an aide to a Bradenton legislator was allowed to conduct social media work for a consulting company with ties to prominent Republicans like Adam Putnam, who is a candidate for governor. Fred Piccolo, Corcoran's communications director, had worked until recently for a media organization that covers state politics and the legislature. Legislative rules require employees to get approval for outside work, and officials says Piccolo did not follow that rule, but that the matter was addressed and corrected. Also, legislation to expand workers' compensation benefits for firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, and other first responders unanimously passed its first Senate committee this week. The bill would require workers' comp cover mental conditions like post-traumatic stress disorder. Currently, PTSD is only fully covered by workers' comp if the mental injury is accompanied by a physical injury that requires medical treatment. Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Patronis says many firefighters regularly see troubling images that are not easily erased from the brain.
Where we can react with a common sense approach of giving them the therapies and benefits they need in order to lead a normal life, it's our obligation to do so.
That legislation has 3 more committee stops in the Senate before it can be voted on by a full chamber during the 2018 session, which will start next month. President Trump is heading to Florida tonight for a campaign-style rally just 25 miles from the Alabama state line. Trump has put his full endorsement behind embattled Republican candidate Roy Moore. As Stacey Cohen explains, the rally and upcoming election is coming at a watershed moment in our nation's capital.
Capitol Hill still reeling amid a wave of sexual misconduct allegations and resignations. Republican Congressman Trent Franks becoming the third lawmaker to announce his resignation this week due to allegations of sexual harassment. It came hours after Democratic Senator Al Franken said he would step down, but stopped short of apologizing.
In the coming weeks, I will be resigning as a member of the United States Senate.
2 days earlier, Democratic Congressman John Conyers announcing he would retire after facing multiple allegations of sexual harassment. Watershed developments just days before a U.S. Senate special election in Alabama with alleged sexual abuse at the forefront.
Thank you very much.
President Trump heads to Pensacola, Florida Friday afternoon for a campaign-style rally a stone's throw away from the Alabama state line. The proximity, a coincidence? Trump has given Moore a full-throated endorsement, tweeting his support Friday morning. The White House pressed on why the president is backing Moore, who faces multiple allegations of pursuing relationships with teenage girls while he was in his 30s and of assault by 2 of them.
We think that the allegations are troubling and that ultimately this is something that the people of Alabama should decide.
The RNC also throwing its support behind Moore, echoing the White House's stance on the controversial candidate.
Well, we've said all along that these allegations are incredibly disturbing. It's up to the voters of Alabama right now. This is democracy. They're going to see this play out.
In Washington, I'm Stacey Cohan.
Well, coming up here on ABC 7, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert weather forecast.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
The perfect musical for the holidays is live on the Players Center stage. Packed with the big band sounds from World War II, the 1940s Radio Hour is our boogie-woogie bugle boy answer to the holiday blues. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. The Players Wild Broadway series wishes you a Merry Christmas with the 1940s Radio Hour.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Naomi, my California Closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Well, if you have any family or friends north of us, Bob, you saw it all day on Facebook, man.
Yeah, it's actually taking up social media right now. People are
taking
talking
over.
about it, and you talked about it too. Your parents up there in Atlanta getting snowfall, which is not that unusual to get snow, but it is
early.
It is
Little
before
early,
the start of winter. You know, it's that's what's strange about it. And it looks as though we're going to see a pretty rough round of showers and storms. Now, this is supposed to be a La Nina winter for us, meaning we're not expected to see the potential for severe weather as much as an El Nino that we saw a couple of years ago. But look at this. This is snow depth. This isn't the snow that's expected to accumulate. This is the snow that's on the ground projected by the model right there. And you can see it covering parts of Louisiana into southern Mississippi, central Alabama, and through north Georgia. Atlanta included in that, up to 2 inches in some areas already. And for us, a different story. We won't get any snow, but some big storms not out of the question. Van Wezel webcam showing kind of a cloudy afternoon today. And it looks as though we're not looking at much in terms of rainfall right now, but that's going to change late tonight. For the time being, things are looking rather calm here, so it looks to be okay. Although it is windy and there are small craft advisories in effect, the heavy weather shouldn't get here until, say, after midnight. The snow's still falling in Atlanta. Hundreds of flights delayed or canceled now. All sorts of travel headaches across the deep south now as a result of that snow that continues to pile up right there into central Georgia. Now, for us, big storms over North Florida. This is the line we'll watch as it progresses in our general direction through the evening and especially on in through the early morning hours. This is rather impressive. These lines of showers and storms here are continuing to develop with a little piece of energy there moving mainly to the northeast, but the line itself is dropping very slowly to the south, and it's still a long way off from us, so not anticipating anything too significant through the midnight hour here, and after that things start to change. Gainesville getting some very heavy rainfall. This line was a little bit more intense just about an hour ago. That has weakened now, but a small craft advisory is in effect and will be in effect until 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Now, we have a lot of activities taking place tomorrow. It's going to be a windy and cool afternoon. The rain should be coming to an end by midday tomorrow, and then we'll start to see that wind whip around to the northwest and really pick up in intensity throughout the afternoon. For the evening planner, not until late tonight. Possibility of showers and storms moving into Manatee County. Temperatures will be into the mid-70s, and then counties to the south, Sarasota, Manatee, and DeSoto counties will start to get into the act, say after 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Temperatures now into the mid-70s to upper 70s across the coast, and 80 degrees though in Sebring, and 76 the Gulf water temperature. That's the last of the upper 70s, and the low 80s we'll see for at least a week, it looks like. Here's the temperature trend, and this is one forecast model suggesting the high on Sunday only at 59. We may be at a couple degrees warmer than that. We stay in the 60s on Monday. A little bit of a break on Tuesday, but still below average, and then we cool down again with a dry cold front moving through on Wednesday. Currently it's 76. The dew point is at 74. We have a south wind strong at 20. The pressure 29.82 inches. That is rising. The high today was 81. The low was into the mid to upper 60s, and no rainfall to report, and that will change. We could see up to an inch of rain before it's all said and done. And this futurecast indicating a few showers around, picking up in intensity, say 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then shifting down to the south and east and eventually clearing out of here and turning windy and cool for the weekend. For boaters, not the best news. Northwest winds at 20 knots. Seas will be 5 to 7 feet, and choppy conditions on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now 76, and that'll be dropping 5 to 8 degrees. I think by Monday we should be down into the upper 60s for water temperatures. And tides upcoming. Low tide at 10:31. And a high tide will be at 3:38, sunset at 5:36 tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, strong storms late, some heavy rain possible, 62 for a low. Tomorrow, a few morning showers around, turning windy and cooler in the afternoon, and that rain will start to lessen somewhat later in the day. The extended forecast then, cool, windy on Sunday, staying chilly on Monday, and then just low temperatures. Monday morning looks to be the coolest in the low 40s. We'll be right back after this.
First out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Well, if you've been waiting to try out some of that new winter gear, your time has come.
You know, it is important. We have to check it out. You know, jackets,
Absolutely.
sweaters. It's rolling in, and it will stick around, too, for a while. Winter weather. Here's a look at some winter weather across most of the eastern third of the nation. Temperatures are on the cold side. We'll have much more on that coming up at 11.
All right, David Muir, World News Tonight, coming up next, and we'll see you at 11.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
So I never had closet systems before. Our designer, Bridget, was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California Closet story.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these other injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-604-1698. That's 800-604-1698.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
It's time to pick up an Angel Tree gift tag at ABC 7 or Sunset Kia in Sarasota, Bradenton, or Venice to see what a local child or senior citizen is wishing for this holiday season.
From ABC 7, thank you for your generosity and happy holidays.